Welcome back to Tritone Radio, my
What's
friends.
up, people?
Hello.
We're up in here. It's DJ Fat Man, Crazy Will, and Mama Bird J. And everybody's got nicknames, and we're established. You guys with me?
Very
Come on.
established.
Yeah. Hey,
We're big people.
that's right. We'll try to remember all the little people on our way to the top. But,
Show
it's good to
people
be back.
got
No reason. Easy, Will. I
I have no idea what you guys are singing right now.
That's good, dude. There's no reason for anybody to know who Randy Newman is. All right. Point being, we have a small fan base. Some of you are consistently listening. Thank you.
Shout out.
It's awesome. We're stoked about it. We don't care how many people it is. It's not that much, but whatever. We'll take it.
Yes.
Take it. We're just going to keep reaching out. It's all good.
And we're trying our best. And I know we're not playing episodes every week, but we attempt to.
We have been consistent, and we had 1 week off, and that was my bad, and I'm sorry. A lot of shit going
Sometimes
on.
that was our
We were all
vacation. I
hectic.
feel like that's
It's
when
true.
season 1 ended, and now we're starting season 2.
A week later.
I guess it kind of works that way. I mean,
Right? We're
yeah, I
having
kind of
seasons.
shut off for like a week myself.
Yeah. Yeah, We'll started spring break last week.
Well, that's awesome.
I can finally
Congratulations.
say I passed this quarter straight A's, motherfucker.
Hey, you gonna go to PCB, bro?
You know it.
Hey,
I don't know what that is. What's PCP?
Panama City Beach.
Christ.
Did you not ever have a spring break?
No, I don't do
bro,
things like
you've
that.
never been to PCB, bro?
I don't know what you guys are
Oh my
talking
god,
about.
dude.
I mean,
okay, I
bit-
can't even talk to you right now, bro. All right, so we're Tritone Radio. If you don't know who we are, we're a podcast that plays local bands for you. Talk shit about a bunch of things, some things that are important, some things that are not, as you have probably figured out, at least the latter of those two things just now. But we're going to go ahead and hit you guys with a song. And this first song is by a band called Bazo Gray, and the song is called The Loaf. Welcome back. You're listening to Tritone Radio. That was Bazo Gray, a little band from Atlanta. Now, that song is called The Loaf. Will read it to me as The Loaf Master because we got the master recordings, I guess, from the gentleman in Bazo Gray.
Thank you, Michael, for it.
Amazing, by the way. Awesome. Dig that. As Will, I believe you described some kind of psychedelic meters type stuff. Like that was really
meters,
cool.
Herbie,
yeah,
kind of
a little Herbie-esque. Yeah, I can dig it. Dude, awesome. Very trippy.
They are the masters of Loaf.
Absolutely. Yeah, we now recommend that you. I guess they've already released it. It's too late, but you guys should call
but
that
they
song
are
The Loaf Master.
Set to release an album. They're working on an album right now at the moment. And make sure you guys are following them, Bazo Gray on Instagram. They have some like really, really dope photos taken by Kelly Joe. And I think I don't know. I'm just excited to hear the album when it actually comes out.
Yeah, I want to see those cats. That was good. I can dig it. Awesome. Good to know. Some more good bands running around of Atlanta here. Dude. You guys don't care about baseball, do you? I know
people
Jenny.
that care about it. I'm
Dude,
from
the Braves
Jersey,
just
remember?
suck, dude.
Yankees fan.
The Braves have.
You're a fucking Yankees fan?
I mean, I grew up around Yankees fans.
God.
They're, it's just...
You're upsetting me right now.
I'm sorry. If there's any band that... band. Look at that. If there's any, like...
Look at that.
Sport... band, sports, it's all the same, isn't it?
I guess.
But if there's any sport, team in baseball that I would follow, would be the Yankees.
Yeah, whatever. Well, the Braves suck, so
Haters
that's
are
probably...
gonna hate.
When was the last time the Braves didn't suck?
Last year. That's how little you guys know baseball. We were really good. We were great last year. We won the division last year. We won the division.
Chipper Jones was on the team.
Chipper Jones retired.
No, he's been retired for like 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's when I was into baseball. But I remember that was all the rave.
It's like 7-8 years now at this point.
Man, that's because Chipper was awesome.
So that's the last time you guys had like good baseball.
No, we had a good baseball team last year. You guys didn't know we won the division. Like we won
I didn't
the
know about
division.
that.
We did really well.
You live here.
We have a hot young team. The only thing we don't have.
You didn't even know. Are you not a baseball fan?
No, Will doesn't.
I mean, I like baseball, but I don't watch the Braves regularly.
Yeah, well, they're losing right now, and
I didn't even know
I'm
baseball
upset.
was going on.
It started 4 days ago.
Oh, they're being really quiet this year.
No, Jenny, you just don't pay attention to sports. Come on, they're being really quiet. Like they're like audibly just being.
No, like when you're.
We're gonna keep the season down this year.
Like football season, it's very loud during football season. Like the internet is always buzzing. Like Facebook feeds.
Because
all about
it only
football.
comes once a year.
Okay.
Oh
I don't know. I just figured you'd see a picture of somebody watching a game, sitting. A picture of the field.
The season just
What are you
started.
talking about? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it just started, Jenny.
Oh.
Give it some time. That baseball will be all up in your face again.
Well, is that what we're going to talk about? Baseball?
Yeah, just for this part. Only because this other band that we're about to play is they were talking about don't talk shit about my team or whatever he says in the song. But
What's his team?
I don't know. I guess just the band.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. Let's go ahead and play it. This next band is called Art Contest, and the song is called Sports.
To the day. Respect our team. Catch of the day. Nice. Respect our team. Respect our team.
right, you're listening to Tritone Radio, and that was Art Contest and their
Sounded
song
like-
Sports off of their album Two Songs, which there is not. There is like 15 songs on their album. But that's okay, because that was awesome.
17 songs. 17.
17, excuse me. I don't think I quite made it through. I listened to a good chunk of it. Dude, that band's awesome. That is super fun. I like it. Very. What, Jenny? What was their genre again? What did they call themselves? Because it was like probability and statistics rock or something like that.
Probability.
I dig.
And
I dig.
statistics rock.
Definitely reminds me of some old school 60s throwback type stuff. Man, super fun.
And they're from Athens.
They're from Athens, Georgia.
I need to see them.
Yeah, we definitely, I don't know, like, we're kind of confused, Art Contest, because we don't know how you guys flew under our radar
Yes.
for so long.
Well, they did perform with Breathers once, and they've been at 529, the bakery, so,
Okay, they're definitely, maybe we're just not paying as close
We're
of
not
attention
paying,
as we thought.
We're paying attention.
Yeah, there you go. Well, very cool Art Contest. I like it. I accidentally called them Art Party before we...
Because it felt like we were at a party.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so good.
It's good stuff.
It looped over and played another time, almost for a third time. And
we almost
we didn't
stopped
even.
we were just like, maybe we
just
should
like,
It just flows
do it
right
again.
Yeah.
perfectly back into itself.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Definitely.
We're talking about psychedelia. We're playing psychedelic music. And it's funny that this is our topic because I'm so high right now that I completely brain farted on our last segment that we're probably going to scrap now. So,
And by high, you mean high on life, correct?
of course, allegedly. The question is, do drugs make you a better musician? Not necessarily that, but do they make people make better music or art in general, I should say. And this is just because we kind of decided to play a bunch of psychedelic music. I thought this would be an interesting thing to talk about. I'd like to preface all of this by saying that everyone obviously handles different drugs differently, and some people not at all. But it affects everybody differently. Everybody has a difference.
Chemical.
Yeah, everybody just, yeah, exactly. Everybody just like experiences things differently, and some things are not as good for other people as they are for me or you, or so on and so forth. So obviously I understand that. Now, this question is being asked because a lot of great art and music is a consequence of, not necessarily a consequence of, but was a consequence of a lot of artistic and creative people taking drugs, taking LSD, taking psilocybin mushrooms, smoking tons of weed, and that's just kind of why I decided to ask this question. And the question is it because of that? Like, is that really what did it, or does it still come down to a certain level of skill? Would they have reached something a different point because of it, or what? I guess, like, what do you think, Will?
But does it make music better, basically?
Yeah.
It depends, I guess. As far as writing music, maybe not necessarily. I mean, sure. I mean, it can probably inspire you, but I don't deem it like necessary or
so in your experience,
mandatory.
Right? It's not like a necessary thing. You don't feel like it makes you personally more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I definitely feel like people sometimes, may use it as a crutch, and maybe it's hindering to some people to a certain point. But
yeah,
I mean, I personally I have a hard time writing music. Like when I'm stone cold sober, it's not necessarily playing it. Like it's it's creating it, I guess, is where I'm coming from. And I really think it's just because it gives you a drastically different perception. Do I deem it necessary? I don't know. That's tough to say, but I definitely use it for that very reason. You know what I mean?
I read this Rolling Stone article. They talked about Revolver, which was the album the Beatles, like that was like when the Beatles first did acid. Apparently Paul McCartney said in there, whenever we wrote about acid, we wouldn't be on acid when we wrote it, because we just kind of viewed the taking the drugs and the writing as two separate things.
Yeah,
I think that's the best band to kind of even give that example too.
Yeah, because Will can't go 5 minutes without referencing something from the Beatles.
You guys were talking, I've done many different drugs. Some, like exactly like you said, some things are, not good, for people. Some things are better than others. I went through a period of time where I thought, even as a creator, in my own sense, that, MDMA, before it was fake, you know what I mean, was like, deemed necessary to do anything, out there, to put anything out there, to create, to write, to do any of that. But, eventually, you kind of grow out of it if you do or you don't. But I don't know, I just feel like drugs and music together, how it was married together, how it kind of like combusted and became, it's just kind of, it feels like it's a part of it. It's like there's no, I don't know, it just seems like it comes with it. And
let me throw some facts at you about pot. Okay, because you were about to bring up weed. I was actually going to talk about this. So I was just reading about a couple of studies and like what pot actually does. They studied people's brains and what the effects of weed had on it while they were listening to music. So weed alters your perception of time, obviously, which is an essential element of music. Music is time. I mean, we kind of understand that, right? It makes and it increases echo and reverb. Excuse me. Echo and reverb is like an essential part of like psychedelic music, right? And what echo and reverb does is enhance your perception of time and space. That means like your hearing threshold above 600 hertz can improve, and you can become more sensitive to higher frequencies, which echo and reverb tend to bring. Am I correct, Will?
600 hertz?
Yeah, I think
600 hertz is not that high.
Well, it's just like if anything, exactly, like it just means that like it can get higher and enhance, like it just enhances your perception of like frequencies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whether that's like that high or not, my point is simply that it like enhances those frequencies, and echo and reverb bring about those kind of frequencies. Am I right?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. I'm not sure exactly where echo and reverb like sit, but
I don't know about that.
that's fair. That's fair. My point is simply that like there's like a lot of things that that like they studied, and it actually enhanced people's like ability to like perceive music, not necessarily perceive it, but like even hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like and experience it like a lot differently. And yeah, it's I don't know. I guess that's just that was just kind of my point is like sometimes I feel like the reason that because Jenny, you were talking about how they're married together. Sometimes I feel like they really are, and like in a lot of ways they kind of have to be.
Yeah.
By like force. This is strictly for like psychedelic music. I don't know. I just don't know of any like musicians who have written this kind of music who weren't.
I mean,
But
there are definitely. I mean, I don't know. Like there is an exception to all these, you know, and it all again goes back to like what you said. Some people
nothing's absolute.
Yeah, nothing is absolute. But I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know. I never even thought of that until you said it. But even as I think, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, name me. I can think of like a few people who have made some pretty psychedelic music. But then again, like that goes back to we were talking about like what is psychedelia like earlier, Will, and like would you consider Frank Zappa psychedelic? Because that dude's tripped me out more than a few times.
I could see that.
But he no drugs, like none.
Cigarettes and coffee.
Good old Zappa. But yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I suppose there is rules, but yeah, I mean, Zappa's also kind of like in a field of his own. But like we were talking about like what is psychedelia though, so like that could be, I think, perceived as a few things. Like to me, like things that are really weird and out there are like psychedelic. I think as long as it's like kind of coming from left field, like it can be, it can have an element of like psychedelia to it. You know what I mean? Like when things are just fucking strange, like. Because that's been a lot of my experiences with psychedelics themselves, is just odd, just very odd, very strange. A lot of very pretty things too, and happy and nice things too. But it's that's just where my head goes, I guess. But here nor there, I think. I
mean, it goes, but even you said you didn't even just have it focused only on music itself. You said art. I mean, there's some photos, pictures or drawings, art itself that, can take you there as well. You know what I mean? And
True.
And some people within that, I mean, when you think of Alex Gray paintings,
yes,
that's highly psychedelic. There's no question.
Alex Gray is also taking a bunch of acid,
and he's what the OG in the art world. I would assume.
Dude, he's
the Beatles of the art. No, would you consider Alex Gray
the Beatles of the art?
Of the art. I don't. Visual artist.
He is a very fantastic artist. We'll say that, and he's made a lot of cool artwork for Tool.
Oh. I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know Alex Gray?
No, he did the Tool art, like the 10,000 Days.
Yes, dude. Oh my God.
Oh,
I feel like I failed you as a friend. He actually
has a home.
Can everybody
in New York where you can go and visit, and he does these like full moon gatherings.
Yeah, him and his wife are super crazy and out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like can everybody just like ridicule Will online for not knowing who Alex Gray is?
No, it's I understand.
Attack.
Will's
crying a little bit now. Let the record show.
He knew the artist.
Wow.
He knew the artist.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true.
He named the album that it was.
He's a Tool nerd. But yeah, all right, guys, let's play him another tune. Hopefully, you are as high as we are. You can enjoy this next song.
High in life, that is.
On life, allegedly.
Allegedly high on life.
We're gonna play some Kenosha Kid. Jenny, what's the name of the song?
Jenny.
Always will be.
This is Always Will Be by Kenosha Kid. All right. This is Tritone Radio. That was Kenosha Kid and their song Always Will Be off their album Missing Pieces. I really had to try to get that out there because I tried to say it like 3 times. You guys, I apologize. I am a freaking mess tonight.
2 hands on the
I
microphone.
feel like I know, but I'm
You're selling
apologizing
yourself
to you
out.
guys.
We can
dude.
edit this. We can edit
It's
this
too
out.
late, dude. I feel like I've just sounded like a total goob all night, and I apologize to our listeners too, because there's no way we edit this and I don't come off sounding like a dummy. But it's okay. I personally am just kind of used
like
to it
it.
anyway. So
It went there.
it did go
But
there.
not to take away from the amazingness.
Yeah, Kenosha Kid. Sorry, you guys are awesome. You guys, I've been hearing about Kenosha Kid for a really long time, ever since I started going down to Athens, which was quite a few years ago, and yeah, they've just kind of been a staple there for a long time. Saw them at Psy in July a couple years ago. I believe some at Hendershots one time. They're just an awesome band in general.
Yeah,
Really
Dan
enjoy
Nettles is
Kenosha Kid.
amazing, and yeah, I saw them with Displace at Aisle 5, and it was just mind blowing. And they have like really good, like just the whole entire performance. All you do is just stand there and just like watch your mind get blown, and you can't even move. Blown away. But yeah, it's all good. It's all great.
I like correcting your grammar.
Well,
It's funny. All right, so we're gonna try to wrap. So I'm gonna give one more quick shameless plug for myself, because I actually didn't do this episode. I almost got a whole episode out, but without hitting a shameless plug. But I'm gonna do it anyway, because you need to come see Moon Chief and the White Rabbit Collective and Sono and the Piels at the 40 Watt in Athens, where we will be playing musics for you, and it will be quite good, and you will enjoy. And you come to show, you spend money,
And
you
there'll
buy
be
merchandise,
You're forgetting one.
art, open jam,
You guys are on Spotify now.
and Moon Chief's on Spotify.
Yes, they
Thanks,
are.
Will.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
well, you're head of PR.
God.
You're hired, kid.
You're hired, kid.
We're going places. You're taking too long. You're fired. But yeah, thank you guys for listening.
And I
yeah,
do
one
have
more
to,
thing.
another
Speaking of White
shameless
Rabbit
plug,
Collective,
yes, the Rabbit Hole Studios is now offering a co-op studio, kind of like the YMCA for artists, for a low monthly fee of $33 a month. You get access.
That is in
noon
Athens,
to
Georgia,
midnight.
correct?
Yes. To their instruments, to his studio. So I think it's amazing.
full moon jams at the Rabbit Hole Studios, as we just mentioned. Very awesome, super cool. It only happens on full moons, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody just gets up in there and jams.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool.
It's just a great thing for the music community, like coming together and
That's dope.
doing it.
All right, so we're gonna play you guys one more song.
Tell us a little about this band.
This band is called Vanishing Kids, not to be confused with Kenosha Kid. But you know, I just we were playing Psychedelia, and I found this band, and I felt like kind of that we had to play them. They're from Madison, Wisconsin, and just very big sound. They kind of have Mogwai explosions in the sky, post-rock-esque type sound, but it's, you know, filtered through some very psychedelic tones, and I really like that about it. So
you actually said that they should open up for
they
Kenosha
should play
Kid.
with Kenosha
Or play
Kid.
with Kenosha
I
Kid.
feel like it would be it would be really awesome.
Just
It'd be
put
a
that
good
out
show. And we could call it the Kids Night Out.
Ooh.
No, that's stupid. But yeah, we're Tritone Radio. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, thanks for coming to catch us. We out.
Peace out, everybody.